The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, and thanks for attending our webinar this morning. Today, we will be hearing soon from Casey Lane at North American. He's going to be talking today about the North American VersaChoice 10 fixed index product, going over some highlights of that newest annuity in the North American portfolio, and also some new option, a new option available on that index product. So in a little bit, I will turn over the reins, so to speak, to Mr. Casey Lane with North American. He's joining us today out of West Des Moines, Iowa. In the meantime, my name is Jim Guinan. I'm an annuity sales director here with Insurance Agency Marketing in the Omaha office of Insurance Agency Marketing. And I will be giving you a brief intro into some new things happening with us, some updates for you about what's going on, some of our incentives, and then I'll turn the presentation over to Casey. So with that, let's get started, and appreciate your attendance today. We are recording the webinar, so if for some reason you're not able to stay for the whole webinar or would like to replay it later, we will have that available for you this afternoon. Wanted to just talk with you about some new, things that we offer on an ongoing basis here with IAMS, and that is our business builders. One, of course, is our referred producer program. And
hey, Jim.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, but I still see your main screen here on the. I don't see your PowerPoint
How about that?
up on the screen. There we go, bud.
Okay, thanks.
Perfect.
Well, just goes to show you got to click twice. Okay, so thanks, Casey. I don't know what I'd do without you. I would have gone on and finished this without. Appreciate that.
I would have let you done that.
Okay, so talking about the referred producer program, what that does is helps put money in your pocket for people that you put in touch with us. So as you can see here, it says $50 when a referral contracts. And then on an ongoing basis, as they continue to write business, we will pay you, in essence, an override for that business. And that comes from us to you as a way of saying thanks. And that's unlimited. So again, you don't have a cap on one or two a year. There are many producers in our database and that we work with on an ongoing basis that were referred by other agents, and we work with a lot of them. So again, our way of saying thank you for referring other producers to us. The other way that we help you with your business, of course, is give a jump start. When you first start writing with us here at Insurance Agency Marketing, you can see here the different levels in your first 180 days of writing business. These are what you can expect to receive as a reward. Again, $100,000 of annuity premium in your first 6 months. Just for that alone, $750 cash bonus. That's pretty good. So again, we want you to hit the higher threshold so that you can take advantage of more incentives and ways to help you grow your business. All right, our back office support, talking about that a little bit. Again, I work with people here every day that help me with your help and what your needs are. And you may not know anything about them. Of course, if you're submitting business to us, you do know about our new business team, both on life and annuity. But we have individuals that help us with life and annuity quotes. Of course, Chris helps us tremendously in the contracting department with contracts that you submit in. So again, we have a great back office that helps not only you, but helps us in our business for you. Okay, and our creative department is continuing to stay busy and grow. We hear from them that the busiest part of the year is the first part of the year, which does make sense, but we're getting a lot of requests now for updates on websites. Agents are looking to either improve the website they have now or are looking to get a website or learn about how to brand their business or email marketing. So again, if those are some tools that you've not been taking advantage of, reach out to Josh and Tasia and Andrew in the creative department and ask them what you can do, and tell them about what you're doing and what you like to do, and they'll give you some ideas about what they're able to design for you and what kind of cost might be involved with that. Okay, and our website is, if you've not been to our website before, it is www.iamsinc.com. That's IAMSINC.com. I go to this website every day. I most commonly use the income riders. We get a lot of requests for income riders payouts, and so I'm there quite often utilizing this tool, which is very helpful. And yet there's other things on the website that maybe I don't use, but you could use. For example, if you're looking for some term quotes, and you just want to get an idea of what kind of cost would be, premium cost would be involved, you can go to our website any time of the day and get a term quote. Also, if you want to get an idea of what the current rates are on an annuity product that's most commonly sold, or maybe has a bonus or a multi-year rate, we have our rate book, which we have at our desk, also posted on the website, and it's updated quite frequently. Again, lots of tools. There's a resource library, our webinar schedule, just to name a few other things that you can get through the IAMS website. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Retirement Analyzer, but many of you are looking for a little bit more comprehensive way to help your clients. We do offer a Retirement Analyzer. It's software developed by agents for agents. If you'd like to know a little more about how that works and what's involved in the cost, please call in and ask for Marcus Solar. He's kind of the point person for the Retirement Analyzer. All right, talk about IAMS Wealth Management. Moving on. We do now have our own registered investment advisor. We've worked in that area now for 2 years, and this area has grown tremendously, as you might guess. Originally, this was spawned out of the DOL, but as we've continued to grow in that, we're dedicated to growing this business here. So if you have interest in learning more about the IAMS Wealth Management, please reach out to the team there, Charles Hiring Jr., and they can give you more information, give you an idea of what's involved in that, more about the test that you need, which is the Series 65, what kind of business that this could help you with. So again, talk with them. After the webinar is over, if you do have more information that you'd like to get, please, they will let you know. And I'm going to launch a poll question here. If you'd like to learn more about IAMS Wealth Management, please answer to that question. Again, they can email you information. They'd be glad to visit with you about the potential for that and what's involved, what's required for you if you're not familiar with that business. If you're already an investment advisor rep, you may want to consider IAMS Wealth Management. One of our strongest points is the lowest fees available out there. So again, please take a little moment here. If you have interest at all, would like to know more, maybe not for this year, maybe this is something you'd like to do in a year or so, they'd be glad to visit with you. Mike, Charles, and Joan are always available to talk to you over in IAMS Wealth Management. So thanks for your response to that. I appreciate it. Moving on, we do have another installment of our Life and Annuity Academy coming up here at the end of March. And we are still accepting registrations. This is a 2-day training event that's all expense paid for those that are invited. If you're active in the insurance business, especially in selling fixed annuities or life, this may be the training for you. That's what we're looking for as people, agents that have been selling those lines. We do require them to be contracted, that you be contracted with one of our top companies in order to be invited. But it is a jam-packed 2-day training. You will be accessible to top producers and ways to grow your business. As you can see, some of the topics that we go through, it is updated every time. It's not the same program every time that we have this life and annuity training. So we've most recently devoted a little more time to the DOL, especially last year when that was of interest. And it's been pretty quiet lately. So, but we do spend some time talking to you about advanced topics for fixed annuities, single premium life. Also, you have access to seminar selling if it's something that you would like to pursue. So if you have interest in that, please respond to the question for the Life and Annuity Academy. Again, the next academy is March 28th through the 30th. That's a Wednesday through Friday, and that will be in West Des Moines, Iowa. There is another training scheduled for early summer. The dates have not been announced yet. It'll either be late May or early June is my guess, based on what we've talked about. And that most likely will be in our brokerage office here in Omaha. So thanks for your response to that. Again, after the webinar is over, we will send you more information about this with the link for the registration. Again, if this date doesn't work, but you'd like to know more or perhaps attend a future academy, feel free to send in a registration. We'll review it. We'll talk with you more about what we look for and any questions that you have about the academy itself. So I appreciate your responses to that. Okay, and one of the last things I'd like to talk about is our marketing summit. That is coming up very soon. As you can see, February 25th through the 28th. Our chance to, it's an educational and social event both, and that will be in Scottsdale, Arizona at Boulders Resort and Spa. Again, February 25th through the 28th. Okay, the qualification period, so to speak, for this invite was ended at the end of the year. The newest marketing summit has not been announced, so we don't have that information to pass on to you yet, but I'm sure it will be nice. By the way, this summit here will be the most well-attended ever in the history of our company, which goes back about 20 years on top producers trips. Okay, so I want to thank you for your time so far this morning. At this point, I want to move everything over here to Casey Lane over at North American, and he will talk to you further. Casey is, of course, a sales vice president with North American, and I'm going to change that over so he can talk to you more about do you have access to now, Casey?
Not just yet.
Sorry, I think I did something wrong again. There we go. Sorry about that.
Right.
How about now?
Let's see if we can get my screen to pop up here.
I'm a little technology challenged today. I have to have an outside source here to help me with my access. So appreciate you being here, Casey.
Thanks, Jim. And do you see my screen now?
I do.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jim. Appreciate the introduction. And for you folks on our call, on behalf of myself and all of the other employee owners here at North American, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. I always start my webinars this way because we are thankful for you and what you guys do. You're independent agents that work on commissions. So for you to take 30, 45 minutes to an hour at the most out of your busy schedule and away from your clients and prospects is certainly very much appreciated. And thank you to Jim's and IAMS for giving me another opportunity to be on your webinars. And more importantly, thank you for the partnership, Jim, that we have with IAMS.
You're welcome.
So obviously, Jim and I want you folks to get the most out of your time here with me today, or with us today. So the one piece of homework that I have, and I have this on every one of my webinars, is that as I'm going through my portion of the presentation, I want you to be thinking in the back of your mind about your database of clients and prospects. And if a client's name or a prospect's face pops into your head for whatever reason, whatever it is I'm talking about at that time, I'm going to encourage you to write down that individual's name right then and there. Because I guarantee if you're anything like me and you wait till the end of the presentation, You're going to forget who it was you wanted to talk to and what it was you wanted to talk to them about. So my goal here for you is for each of you to have 2, 3, 4 names of clients or prospects that you can pick up the phone and you can call and you can talk to about the North American VersaChoice Index Annuity when we're all done here today. And I'll tell you what, folks, we are, me personally, and I know as a carrier, we are excited about this product. It's our newest product, and by new, I mean it rolled out in October of 2017, but it has been getting a lot of attention, a lot of attraction, and it has been our fastest growing index annuity product when we look at other index products when we first roll them out. So it's not in the top 5 for our overall premium, but when you look at our products when we roll them out, it has grown the fastest of any of our past products. So you're going to find some very innovative features. You're going to find some first-of-kind features, industry features on this product. So sit back and enjoy. As we've done with past products, we've tried to design the product or mirror the product after its name. So when you see VersaChoice, I mean, the first thing that pops into my head is versatility, versatile, however you want to pronounce it, right? And you're going to find that the VersaChoice product gives clients the versatility that they want and the flexibility of life's demands. And I get the question a lot, well, Casey, give me the 50,000-foot overview. Give me your elevator speech on the VersaChoice product. And my elevator speech on this product is that this is a simple accumulation product with the option of peace of mind benefits and now guaranteed lifetime income. So I had to add a little bit to the elevator speech because as Jim kind of indicated, we did just recently make available our guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit rider on this product as well. So again, real quick, a simple accumulation product with the option of peace of mind benefits or guaranteed lifetime income. That's the VersaChoice product. So in that elevator speech, you can probably guess who's a prospect for this contract. And this is, again, where I want you to think about your database of clients and prospects. This is a great product for that client that is just looking for a pure potential accumulation vehicle. They want the safety, the peace of mind of an index annuity, knowing they can't lose any money due to negative market performance, and to get the most upside potential that they can. You'll find that the VersaChoice is a great accumulation product. And we'll go through each of these here throughout the presentation. What about those clients you have that are concerned about future health care needs or health care costs? And I'm not a gambling man, but I bet that you have a lot of clients that are asking you, well, what if I need home health care down the road, or my grandfather was confined to a nursing home, my uncle was, I'm concerned that what if I happen to need that kind of care, you know, can this product benefit me? We'll talk about how this product can benefit those clients. And then also clients that are looking for what I like to call the peace of mind features and benefits for maybe the unexpected, maybe not necessarily, you know, healthcare costs, or maybe an emergency, maybe a hospital stay, something where a large chunk of money is needed to help pay for or cover those costs. And we can never be too prepared for the unexpected. We all feel nothing is going to happen to us. We're invincible, but in a lot of instances, unfortunately, we're not, and clients do have unexpected costs pop up. So we'll talk about these three, and also I need to add one more prospect on there, and that's, again, a client looking for guaranteed lifetime income, and we'll talk about that at the very end. So let's take a look at the product on the accumulation side of the house. And basically what I'm showing you here is the various strategies, crediting methods, and indices that are available where a client can allocate their premium dollars to. And these are the current rates, our caps, our margins, our participation rates that you see here. The rates have not changed since the product was rolled out back in October. You'll notice a high band and a low band. That's premium based. So anything 20,000 to 74,999 is going to fall in the low band rates. Any premium 75,000 and above is going to fall in the high band rates. And I mentioned in my elevator speech, this is a simple accumulation product, and I want to point out a couple of reasons why we feel this is simple. Number one is when you look at the various indices that are available out there in the market, and we ourselves, when you look at some of our older products, we have multiple indices. You know, we have the Dow Jones, we have a Euro Stocks indice, a gold strategy, the Russell 2000, the mid-cap. When you look at some of our old products, there was a variety of indices. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That just provided more diversification. We've simplified it because in the long run, when we look back at where premium was being allocated on our policies, the vast majority was going into some S&P 500 index, whether it was a volatility control, just a straight S&P 500, maybe a multi-asset. But in the long run, we look back and the vast majority of premiums were being allocated to an S&P 500 index. So you'll notice the only indices that are available are related or tied to the S&P 500. Everybody knows the S&P 500. They see it every day on MSNBC. They turn the TV on. They know what the S&P 500 is. So we've kept it simple from that standpoint. And also, there's a couple of strategies that we feel are simple and easy to explain. And for time purposes, I'm not going to go into the definitions and describe each and every one of these. But notice of the 5 different index accounts that are available. By the way, there is a fixed account, as you can tell at the top too. Of the 5 index accounts available, 3 of them are what we would call, the quote-unquote uncapped strategies, where we don't apply a traditional cap to the upside. I will point out 2 of them because these are the 2 that we see getting a little more of the allocations than the others. And the first one is this Mark 5, S&P 500 Multi-Asset Risk Control Index. And one of the reasons why this is getting such a good attention and attraction is because it does have a very low margin on that contract. If you notice the high band, 0.9%, less than a 1% margin on that strategy. And the other strategy that is getting a lot of attention as well, and kind of getting back to the simple theme, is the S&P 500, just the straight S&P 500 index, annual point-to-point strategy with a participation rate that is uncapped. So Mrs. Klein, if you have over $75,000, you're going to get credited to your index annuity 45% of whatever that S&P 500 does from today, which is your issue date, to 365 days from now. If it goes up 20%, you're going to get 9. If it goes up 10%, you're going to get 4.5. I wish it was at 50 to make the math a lot easier, but 45% is still a very competitive participation rate in today's environment. So again, there's the crediting methods, trying to keep it simple with just the S&P 500. And I do want to just do a quick screenshot here of an illustration that I just ran here yesterday. And I did allocate, in this example, 100%, as you can see down here in the bottom right, 100% to that S&P 500, that multi-asset risk control index with the 0.9% margin. So if we look back, Mrs. Client, what we do on our illustrations is we look back over a 20-year period, and we're going to show you, Mrs. Client, how this index would have performed in the most recent 10-year period, which you can see an average annual interest credit of 5.17% over the most recent 10-year period. We're going to show you the lowest 10 years of the last 20 years. That would have came out to a 3.5% effective annual interest credit over that 10-year period. And we're going to show you the highest 10 years of the last 20, and that would have came out to a 6.26% average annual interest credit over that 10-year period. So when you compare this to other safe alternative strategies, investments, CDs, money market, again, this is going to be a great accumulation opportunity for you, Mrs. Client. And again, that's just using one strategy. You can diversify. You can put as little or as much in any one of those indices as you want to. Again, this is just showing you from a pure accumulation standpoint with that Mark 5 index. Now, that's accumulation. Again, if your client just is looking for pure accumulation, the VersaChoice base product is going to be a good alternative for them, good option for them. But what about that client that, again, wants some flexibility and peace of mind just in case, something happens down the road unexpected, or they're concerned about future healthcare costs, healthcare needs? What can the VersaChoice product offer for them? Well, for a minimal charge, that client can purchase what we call the Optional Enhanced Liquidity Benefit Rider. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that name. I am more of a fan of what I like to call the peace of mind benefits, because when we look at these, and we'll go through each of these one by one, when you look at each of these 4 benefits that are provided by this one rider, each of these does provide a peace of mind for the client. Now, the cost for this one rider and these 4 benefits is 50 basis points on an annual basis. Only 50 basis points. Again, the one rider covers and provides all 4 benefits. And I do need to restate that very quickly. The 2 on the left-hand side of the screen, the enhanced penalty-free withdrawals and return of premium, those are available to every single person that purchases this rider. The 2 on the right, and this is where the first of its kind features in the industry, we'll talk about these ADL-based features. Those do have one minimal requirement, and I'll talk about what that one minimal requirement is here in just a minute. So, Mrs. Client, let's start on the left-hand side of the screen of the 4 quadrants, and let's talk about although we have the ROP feature highlighted, let's talk about number 1, the enhanced penalty-free withdrawal. This simply states, Mrs. Client, if you don't utilize the 10% withdrawal feature that is available in the first year, so you can take a 10% withdrawal of your premium in the first year. If you don't use it, in the second year, you can take 20% of the accumulation value penalty-free. Now, it's not going to grow to more than 20. So if you don't use it in the second year, in the third year, it's not going to go to 30. It'll max out at 20%, and it resets if you happen to take a penalty-free withdrawal. But you can, with that in mind, you can know, Mrs. Client, that basically every other year you have the opportunity to get up to 20% of your accumulation value in case you need it. Again, might be more sizzle than it is steak, but again, it's a peace of mind for the client to know that just in case, for whatever reason, I can access 20% of my accumulation value. That's the first little peace of mind benefit. Second peace of mind benefit, and this is the highlighted one, the return of premium feature. And I'll tell you what, this in and of itself, this feature right there for 50 basis points is a very inexpensive feature. Now again, just to remind you, all 4 of these are available for the one cost of 50 basis points. We're not charging separately. So what the return of premium feature states, Mrs. Client, if at any time after the second contract year, you decide that you need or you want your premiums back, we will return 100% of the premium you put in the contract with no questions asked. So again, anytime after the second year, you want your money back for whatever reason, maybe 3 years down the road, there's some fancy spancy new silver bullet out there in the index annuity market that you can't get enough of. You want to move this money and you want to put it over there. Doesn't matter what the reason is. We will give you 100% of your premiums back, no questions asked. Now that does also include, let me point out also, the return of premium does include the cost for the enhanced liquidity benefit rider. So let's assume in the 5th year you decide, yep, you know what, I want my money back. I want to go on a worldwide tour, take some cruises. Let's say you gave us $100,000 premium day 1. We're going to give you $100,000 back, no questions asked. We're not going to keep the 50 basis point fee that we've charged each year. You're going to get your $100,000 back or your cash surrender value. So you're always going to get the greater of a return of your premium or the cash surrender value, because if by chance maybe you've utilized some of these uncapped strategies, maybe you've had a couple of decent years of interest credits where even with the surrender charge being deducted, your surrender value may be greater than what you put in. So you will always get the greater your cash surrender value or the return of premium. Again, it's a peace of mind to know that regardless of why or when, as long as it's after the second year, you will get 100% of the premium you put in back with no questions asked. So again, think of some of the other return of premium features or riders that are available out there. For the most part, most of them you have to wait a little longer. Some you have to wait after the 5th year to utilize that. A lot of those that if you do utilize the ROP, the carrier is going to keep the fee that they've been charging. So I know ROP is a pretty common theme, but there are some differences between each carrier's return of premium feature. Again, anytime after year 2, and we will return the fees as well back to you. So here's an illustration. You can illustrate or show the client. Again, Mrs. Client, here's a worst case scenario. This is the guaranteed annuity values, your $100,000 premium. Anytime after the second year, notice that worst case scenario, you're going to see $100,000 as your return of premium. Again, a peace of mind feature, a peace of mind benefit for clients. Okay, so that was the left-hand side, the first two quadrants. Again, anybody that purchases the rider does receive those benefits. Just a couple of quick notes here also. The contract is a 10-year contract, and we only have a 10-year version. The minimum issue age is 40, maximum issue age is 79, and the rider does have to be added at the time of issue. Okay, so you can't add it 3 years down the road. It has to be added at the time of issue. And the minimum premium, if I didn't mention, is $20,000. Maximum premium without prior home office approval is $1 million. So the benefits on the right-hand side, and again, this is where these are kind of the first of kind in the industry for these types of features and benefits. And I'll tell you, based on my conversations and with agents selling this and marketers out there like Jim, these benefits are getting a lot of attention right now. These two benefits on the right-hand side, I mentioned there is one minimal qualification, and that qualification is this. On the disclosure form, at the time of application, there's a question that says, at this point in time, at the time of application, I am able to perform all 6 activities of daily living. Now, I'm not going to go through all 6 of those activities, but just for time purposes, but I think we know most of them. That is the only quote-unquote knockout question. If that client checks that box that, yes, I am able to perform all 6 activities of daily living at the time I sign this application, those two benefits on the right-hand side are available to them. They can use those. Those will be a part of the rider. If for whatever reason don't check the box, so maybe they're not able to perform all 6 activities of daily living at that time, they still have the enhanced penalty-free withdrawal and the return of premium feature. Those are still available, just not the benefits here that we'll discuss that are ADL or activities of daily living based. That's the only qualification. There's no underwriting, there's no blood, there's no urine, there's nothing other than I am able to perform all 6 activities of daily living at the time of application. We're going to take the client's word for it. We're going to take the agent's word for it. If that box is checked yes, that client gets those two benefits. So let's go through these two benefits. Again, these are activities of daily living based features. Now, I know a lot of you probably here on the call have sold an index annuity with some form of a lifetime withdrawal benefit rider. And typically those income riders have, those quote unquote income doublers, right? Where if you're not able to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living, the company will double your lifetime income for a period of mostly up to 5 years, right? This is not an income doubler based feature, okay? These are not income doublers. The first one, number 3, is an ADL based surrender charge waiver. Now, most products have a nursing home confinement waiver, right, which states that, Mrs. Client, if you are confined to a nursing home or a qualified care facility for a X amount of days, then you can access your accumulation value as little or as much as you want penalty-free. This is similar, however, this is based on ADLs. So, Mrs. Client, if at any time after this policy is issued, you are not able to perform 2 of 6 of those activities of daily living, you can access that accumulation value penalty-free, no charges, anytime you want to. So it's not a confinement waiver. It is strictly based on the client not able to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living. If we have written notice from a physician indicating such, again, after issue, that client can access that feature anytime they want to. So again, Mrs. Client, we can take a quick illustration and show you how this works. You're 65, you put in a $100,000 premium. If at any time after that second year, anytime after issue, you can't perform 2 of 6 of activities of daily living, guess what? You can access your accumulation value as little or as much as you want penalty-free. It does not require confinement to a qualified care, a nursing home, or long-term care facility. Strictly ADL based. Again, you're going to have clients who are going to say, well, what if I need home health care? What if I'm in an assisted living? If you're just not able to perform 2 of 6 ADLs, regardless of where you are, you have access, full reign to your accumulation value. And it's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not an indemnification. So, Mrs. Client, if you are maybe in an assisted living, we're not going to send the checks or the money to the assisted living facility. They are going to you, to your account in your name. You can do whatever you want with them. You don't have to use it to pay for any, home health care or any of that. If you can, again, take it and go on a vacation if you want to. So it's a nice peace of mind benefit for the client to know that without even being confined, they can access that accumulation value anytime after issue if they can't perform 2 of 6 ADLs. The second ADL-based feature is what we call an ADL-based payout benefit. And this benefit is available anytime after the second contract year. So they can access or utilize this feature anytime after the second contract year if they are not able to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living. What we will do is we will pay out an enhanced accumulation value over 5 equal payments. Let me repeat that. So they can exercise this benefit anytime after the second contract year. If they are not able to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living, we will pay out an enhanced accumulation value over 5 equal payments. And I'll go through an example on here to show you exactly how this works. So let me make sure that we're clear on this. The benefit itself is not available till after the second year. The client can't exercise this after the second year. It doesn't matter when they were not able to perform those 2 of 6 ADLs. They just won't be able to exercise this benefit until sometime after the second year. And they don't have to exercise it in the second year or the third year or the fourth year. They can basically, there's some flexibility between number 3 and number 4. So let me just go through a little bit more here so we're clear. Mrs. Client, let's assume that in year 2, unfortunately, you are not able to perform all 6 activities of daily living. So at that point in time, remember, you can access, let me go back, you can utilize your ADL-based surrender charge waiver. So if you need to or want to, you don't have to, but you can, if you need to, dip into your accumulation value as little or as much as you want without any penalties whatsoever. Let's assume that you don't necessarily need that money at that point in time. Again, year 2, you weren't able to perform those 2 of 6 activities, and that continues for basically the next 3 to 4 to 5 years. If you decide in the 5th contract year that you like the idea of taking an enhanced accumulation value payout, what North American will do at that point in time is we will pay you 120% of whatever your accumulation value is at that point over 5 equal payments. And by the way, each of those 5 payments is a part return of premium and part interest, so you're not paying taxes, all up front on the first couple of payments. But if you like the idea of receiving, a quote-unquote bonus on your accumulation value, if you exercise this option in the 5th year, North American will pay you 120% of the accumulation value over 5 equal payments. If you want to wait till, say, the 6th or 7th or 8th year, North American will pay you 125% of whatever the accumulation value is at that time over 5 equal payments. So I mentioned some flexibility again, just because the client wasn't able to perform those 2 of 6 ADLs maybe in the second year, they don't have to trigger this thing until, or if they even want to. They're not required to, but it's an option for them. And I'll tell you what, knowing that I'm going to get basically a 25% enhancement to my account value over 5 years, I don't know where else I can put my money that's going to pay me basically a 5% return a year, guaranteed worst case scenario. So again, there's flexibility. If the client needs some money, remember, they have the surrender waiver. They can take as little or as much from the account value, penalty free, and then they can exercise this option at any point in time that they want to, if they want to, again, that is. So there's some flexibility between the waiver and the enhanced payout. Know that if they do utilize this benefit, if they do exercise the ADL-based payout benefit, what they are doing is basically annuitizing that contract over a 5-year period. So every other feature is null and void. They're basically receiving a 5-year payout at an enhanced percentage of their account value. I get the question too, well, Casey, what if they utilize this and they die in the 2nd year of that 5-year payout? Their named beneficiary will receive the remaining payments as they were planned. They can't take a lump sum. They will receive the remaining 3 payments in that example. Again, total over a 5-year period. So we can illustrate this, and just to go through a quick example, here's our 65-year-old client, $100,000 premium. And again, let's just assume that sometime between the issue date of the contract and the 6th year, the client is not able to perform 2 of 6 activities of daily living. At that point in time, Mrs. Client, if you want to, and this is again is the 6th year, if you want to take your full account value, you can certainly do it without any penalties. And in this example, using, I can't remember what strategy we utilized here, but your account value at that point in time is $144,000. You can take that lump sum. Or you can take 125% of that, or $180,000 over 5 equal payments of just over $36,000 a year. Again, part return of premium, part interest, so you're not paying the taxes all up front. Again, folks, just some more peace of mind, some more enhanced liquidity options for the client that they can utilize for those unexpected or potential healthcare needs or healthcare costs. Again, these two, the ADL-based features, have that one question, one qualification that they are able to perform all 6 activities of daily living at the time of issue. But I think you'd agree, folks, that 50 basis points. Remember, you get all 4 of those features. Again, if you qualify for those 2, you get all 4 of those for the very inexpensive cost of 50 basis points. And by the way, this rider is revocable. They can, if they decide at any time after issue that they don't need or want these extra benefits, they can drop that rider at any time that they want to. They can't add it back on, but they can drop it at any time that they want to. All right, let me just share one quick sales concept here with you before I talk briefly about the Income Pay Plus rider that's also available. You know, the one thing that we see quite often with another product of ours that has a return of premium feature is that if you think about this, for a client maybe that has a $200,000 premium, that, you know, they're interested obviously in accumulation, but they also like the idea of having some flexibility just in case they need access, right? But they may not need access to that full $200,000. You know, maybe an emergency pops up, but there's a big hospital bill. Maybe they're thinking, well, if I can get by with just having access to 50,000 or 40 or whatever, that would be good enough. So here's what we're seeing some clients doing is with these larger cases, in this example, $200,000, issue 4 $50,000 contracts, or my advice would be to maybe at least have one that's over 75,000 so you can get those higher rates. But let's use this example, 4 $50,000 VersaChoice contracts. 3 of them where we're just using it for pure accumulation. We're not adding any riders, it's just pure accumulation. And 1 of them, we're going to add that enhanced liquidity benefit rider specifically for the return of premium feature. So this client knows that anytime after the 2nd year, if an unexpected emergency pops up and they need access to some money, first of all, they have the 20% penalty-free withdrawal, or they know that they can access for sure, worst case scenario, $50,000 without any questions asked, while letting that additional 150 in those other 3 contracts just continue to grow. So again, they may not need the full $200,000. I mean, who wants to use a return of premium if they don't need the whole thing? So just think about considering some additional or multiple contracts on the same policyholder if that is specifically the case. Just an idea, a concept. Again, we're seeing that happen quite a bit where we have multiple contracts issued on the same individual. The last thing I'm going to cover here just real quick in 5 quick minutes, as Jim kind of alluded to again at the beginning of the presentation, I also mentioned this. We did just recently make available also on the VersaChoice product, the client, the opportunity to add our guaranteed lifetime withdrawal benefit rider, the income pay plus rider. And one thing I do want to point out, so the client has either, here's their options. Mrs. Client, you can just purchase the base VersaChoice product, do not add any riders at all, right? It just, there's your pure accumulation vehicle. You can add that enhanced liquidity benefit rider for 50 basis points, or you can add the income pay plus rider for 1.05%. The thing you can't do is add both the income pay plus rider and the enhanced liquidity benefit rider. We can't add both of those to one contract. Hint, hint, you can split monies and maybe do the income pay plus on one of the contracts and the enhanced liquidity benefit on the other, but with the same contract, we can't add both riders. But kind of like the healthcare costs, your clients that are concerned about future health needs and concerns, you've got a lot of clients that are concerned about outliving their retirement dollars as well. I know that. If you've got clients that are looking for guaranteed lifetime income, again, the income pay plus rider is now available to be added to the VersaChoice product. It provides a 6% compounding roll-up for up to 10 contract years. Mrs. Client, at the time you're ready to start taking income, you can choose either a level payout option or an increasing payout option on either a single or a joint life income basis. The increasing income option, by the way, is based on the current interest rate environment at the time the client triggers income. So it might be 8 years down the road, might be 4 years down the road. As an example, if a client were to take income today and chooses the increasing payout option, as a carrier right now, that client's income, we would increase 2% per year for the rest of their life. Even if their account value hit zero, they would get an increase in their lifetime payment amount of 2% every single year for as long as they live. That's based on today's current interest rate environment. 4 years from now, that might be a 4% increase. It might be a 1% increase. It's based on the interest rate environment at the time the client triggers their income. So just a little side note on that. And this does also provide that quote unquote income doubler if the client is confined to a nursing home for 90 consecutive days, their lifetime income will double for a period of up to 5 years for the life of the policy. So again, if you've got clients that are concerned about outliving their income or their retirement dollars in retirement, the income pay plus rider might be an option for them to add to the VersaChoice product. As an example also, just like the enhanced liquidity benefit rider, this is revocable. If it's added, they can at some point down the road remove it if they decide they don't need it or want it. So just a quick high-level summary, folks. I think, again, as the name implies, VersaChoice, this product provides you an abundance, or your clients, an abundance of versatility, whether it's flexibility, whether it's those peace of mind benefits for the unexpected, for future healthcare costs, for that client that's concerned about lifetime income, or again, maybe just a client that says, you know what, I've got all those other areas covered, I've got other money set aside for those healthcare needs or for my income. I'm just looking for a nice accumulation opportunity where I can't lose any money if the market goes backwards. This is a great standalone accumulation product as well. And with that, Jim, I am going to turn it back over to you, my friend, for any closing comments or questions or whatever we feel is necessary.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks, Casey. I did have a couple questions for you here. One was kind of a chargeback question. Was any chargeback of commissions if the client requests an ROP after the second year?
Yeah, that's probably the first question that's asked after we talk about the return of premium feature, and I forgot to mention it, but the answer is the chargeback provisions on the VersaChoice product are 1 year only. So first 6 months would be 100% chargeback, 7 through 12 would be a 50% chargeback. So if that client ever does exercise the ROP feature, no, since it's after the second year, there is no chargebacks whatsoever to the agent.
Okay. And a similar question about chargeback was if the client exercised the ADL benefit in the first year?
Same thing. a no chargeback provision if it is in those specific, utilizing those specific features or benefits.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
We,
that I'm sure that comes up a lot, and we do get that question. That's good to know, because we want to make sure, of course, the features are understood and client friendly. Agents, of course, always want to know that. And okay, so I did want to ask one other question that came up. Now, what is presently one of the top selling products with North American besides VersaChoice?
Sure. No, right now the top selling product, and by top selling, I don't want to make it sound like this is getting 80% of our business, because it's not. But it is our top selling product, is the Benefit Solutions Index Annuity product. Yep.
Yeah. And we have had webinars on the Benefit Solutions, and probably will going forward too. So that's a good question here. I do want to thank you very much. Right now, I did want to also launch a question here for those of you, if you'd like to get more information about the VersaChoice 10 product or about North American or contracting, please respond to that question. We'd be glad to get you out some information. If you have any questions about the VersaChoice from me or for Casey going forward, we'd be glad to help you with that. It is a product that can be illustrated, correct, Casey? The VersaChoice,
yes,
we can illustrate income as well as the accumulation hypotheticals, right?
Yep, certainly can.
And so if you do need more information, would like to see an illustration, want to get appointed with North American, please let us know. We'll be glad to help you out with that and get you what you need. So again, the product is now more versatile, as Casey's mentioned, than ever before. So I don't know another annuity like that in the marketplace today. I really don't. So I do want to thank you for your attendance. Casey, thank you so much for your presentation, your information, and I hope you all have a good rest of your week. And again, hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you, everybody.